and work them in, or you can call 541-846-8280. Normally, it's the Three Musketeers. We're down one. We tried to upgrade, but we couldn't find the upgrade this morning. We had a candidate, my son Myron, but he did not want to be on. So we're Chadless today, and sad for that fact. He always is awesome and brings great insights as well. So it's Carrie and myself. If you have comments, questions, call in. We'd love to hear from you. Carrie just got back from high school camp.
High school camp, yes. So if I look a little tired, it's because...
There's a reason.
Yeah.
I have not slept.
4 hours of sleep a night, late nights, early mornings, all good stuff. Myron, your day's coming, buddy.
Yep.
Can't wait for that. No, it was amazing. We took the students to a place called Sky Camp outside of Eugene, and Josh Knox discovered it. Beautiful green, grassy field, cabins, beautiful lake there, lots of boating and stuff. They had a lot of restrictions that we had to follow. Cabins that normally sleep 24 people, we could only have 8 in because of social distancing and all of that stuff.
A third.
A third, yeah.
Wow.
And then only 10 people at a time in this giant lodge. So the weather was perfect. So we said we're putting everything outside.
There you go.
So we ordered all the kids those little neck gaiters that you can pull up. And so anytime they had to go inside, they just pull those up. So all of that, we followed all the rules. Kids had an amazing time. We had 16 baptisms. And it was awesome. Amazing volunteers. Chris and Jody Isabel cooking the whole week, Everett leading games. Yeah, just an amazing crew.
Yeah,
So,
my daughter
awesome.
Gabrielle. So did anyone ever see the video of the guy, the news reporter?
Yes.
That was doing the interview, and this kid came in, and he's doing this to his kid. He's like, I didn't respond that way.
Yeah. You were on camera,
Yeah.
Myron. Yeah.
Gabrielle just raved about the whole thing.
Yeah, that was fun having her.
And she is, she's opinionated, like her dad.
Yeah,
so she has no problem sharing,
Honest
feedback.
Yeah.
And she's like, it was so awesome. The kids that were there, the games that were being played, the facilities. Bella, who is a graduate,
Yeah.
right? She's
Yeah.
like, this is the best place I've been.
Yeah, it
Like,
was great.
to have the lake right there, to have green grass, you're not in the dirt.
Yes.
Like a lot of our camps,
Yes.
you're in a great spot, but you're in the dirt.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah.
Like I went on one with you over into Bend, and beautiful. You're right there, it's just
Yeah.
brilliant, but you're in the dirt
Yeah.
the whole time.
Yeah,
and
totally.
It's, okay,
Yeah.
that's just what it is. You're in
Yeah.
the desert. It's going to be
Yeah.
dirt. So it was just amazing.
Yeah, great
so
time.
happy about that.
And middle school leaves today in like an
That's
hour.
why Myron's here. He
Yeah.
dropped off his brother, and so he's somewhere.
So I need a lot of caffeine because I said I'd go help
Round
out
two,
that one.
man.
Selena and I will be up there for a few more days, but it's fun. So much fun.
I was telling Anna that I remember in my 20s, I loved helping on camps.
Yeah,
Right?
it's fun.
Wilderness
Yeah.
Trails camps, Applegate camps, loved it.
Yeah,
Then in my 30s, I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll help.
yeah,
And now in my 40s, I'm like, oh man,
yeah.
that is just, it works you.
Mm-hmm.
It just, 3 in the morning, you're up doing something like, oh, I don't want to be up at 3 in the
Yeah,
morning anymore.
exactly.
So I'm
Yeah.
so thankful for you and Everett and
Oh, thanks.
Josh
Yeah.
Knox and Anna and, man, the volunteers taking
Oh,
their
gosh.
vacation.
Taking vacation days.
Brett and Ashley, like,
Yeah.
you guys are amazing.
Yeah, finding people to watch their kids. Katie Heater scheduling. She's got a certain amount of vacation days. She works them around our camps, so yeah,
Man,
pretty special people.
May God repay them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty cool. So I leave on these trips, and I keep coming back hoping to hear
In a
good
bubble?
news. Yeah,
In a happy
We're in a
bubble?
bubble. We took away everybody's phones. Like, life is great. We just forget everything. And I come back, and I'm just kind of scanning through the news, and I saw even Ellen DeGeneres now is like in some hot water for some comments or whatever. I'm like, she's like the kind, like everybody is like,
Yeah,
oh, she's
everybody's
so
best
kind.
friend.
Yeah, and now like even she's in hot water, and it's just like, it reminded me like the things that are going on right now feels like they're not going to stop. Cancel
Yeah.
culture and riots and protesting and coronavirus, and so where do you see? Is there an end to some of this?
Yeah,
Like,
so the one that got me was, it's called #StopStem.
STEM as in like education,
Yeah,
research,
science.
science?
Technology, engineering, and math, right?
Which is a
Your
great
big
thing.
Stuff. Yeah. So they have this statement. It's, in STEM, we create technologies that affect every part of our society and are routinely weaponized against black people. And so their whole thing is that people that are in STEM professions just stop. Quit your job. Don't do anything else. Like,
Stop science?
yeah, stop science. Now, there's no doubt technology has been used for bad.
Yeah, totally.
Sure. But there's an argument that says Robert Oppenheimer should get the Nobel Peace Prize of the century. He's the guy that designed the atomic bomb, right? He's that guy. Why? Because of the expense now, the threat of an atomic bomb. We have had the most peaceful 60 years in history. Because now it's the price of war used to be high, right? You'd lose lives and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Now the price of war is catastrophic.
Yeah.
Its entire civilization's wiped out.
Yeah.
So that's why America and Russia never went to war.
Yeah.
Because the price was way too high.
Yeah.
And they both knew it. So
Fascinating.
actually, you can make an argument that says that technology has actually saved millions and millions of lives. And that's an argument you can make.
Yeah.
But yeah, technology, yes, you could fully. If you really are into stuff like this, you might tune into Brett. I don't normally recommend him because of some of this stuff, but this one podcast he does, Brett Weinstein's Dark Horse podcast, and it's a round table with 8 black intellectuals. So these are PhDs from Cornell University. These are they're brilliant people, men and women, and they talk about the issues, and it was so enlightening. So
Yeah.
they don't. They are saying the narrative that's out there right now through our media is absolutely incorrect. And then they go through history. It's really good, really good.
That is fascinating.
When I think about technology, how much better do we have it because of technology? Every life on the planet has been touched by the good of technology. So a book you can read on this if you are a reader is Hans Rosling. He wrote a book called Factfulness, 10 Reasons Why What You Believe About the World is Wrong. So we're fed this narrative about how bad things are.
Yeah.
And he's this, I think he's European. He might be Hans, maybe Swedish or something.
Yeah.
But brilliant book. And one of the things he talks about is like infant mortality rate. So go back 100 years, it was 33%.
Wow.
Yes. There were tribes in Brazil that would not name their kids until they reached 5 years of age.
Wow.
Because most of them died.
Yeah.
So a mom would have 10, 15 babies, and she'd have 2 kids.
That is crazy.
Right? Now, the world's infant mortality rate is 5%. America's is 0.5%.
Yeah.
Like, that's just unheard of. Why is that?
Technology.
Technology. STEM.
STEM research.
STEM, right? Food. 90% of the world used to work to feed itself. So that meant 9 out of 10 people would have part of their job would be feeding America or feeding the world.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's under 2%. Why?
Yeah.
Technology. Right?
Yeah.
You can go on and on and on. Credit. Like the technology that we have now for credit. The fact that you can use this little piece of card and go anywhere you want and buy stuff is unparalleled.
Yeah.
Like the advantages that give you. And it's always, credit is hope in the future. That's what credit is.
Yeah.
That you will have the resources tomorrow to pay this back.
Yeah.
So there's this hopefulness that has never been there in history. People didn't lend money 100 years ago, 200 years ago, 1,000 years ago, because you never had any hope in the future.
Yeah.
Well, famine could come, we could lose the war. Like, it was hopeless.
We have more security now.
There's so much hope now in tomorrow that it actually filters out to every part of the world. And they've said the hope we have is actually the innovation of science. That science is always bringing up new things. So just this morning I was talking in the elders, and Dan Vidlak, who is an eye doctor, he just said, genetics, what we're going to be capable of doing genetically is going to make the internet and make everything that we've seen in the last 10, 15 years pale in comparison.
Wow.
Right? That's hope.
Yeah.
And that generates this stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, And if you really start boiling things down, like the ideals that we live now, they're Western ideals of peace over war. Individual image bearers have value. We give to them worth because of that. They all go back to Christianity.
Yeah.
And that is what is actually building up all this good stuff. So it's almost like Jesus talked about the kingdom being here and coming. I think you see a lot of like kingdom good in our world right now. And that's what I want to concentrate on. So this cancel thing, man, it's so harsh and so anti-gospel. Gospel is you are forgiven. The old has passed away. Behold, all things have become new. And that's the way the Christian's supposed to be. Not drumming up old stuff that was wrong 10 years ago in somebody's life or 5 years ago in somebody's life, but dealing with them right now and how they are.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Fascinating.
Super hard.
Crazy to think about. So I was talking with a high school student this week, and they said it's weird to me, like all of the things that are happening right now at once.
Yeah.
You know, like all this stuff is happening at once. And I was watching an old Transformer movie with my kids a couple weeks ago, and I said, I don't think I'd even be shocked if somebody said, hey, we discovered a Decepticon, or like, we discovered this here on Earth. In fact, I saw yesterday they said that they've discovered a vehicle that was not made here on Earth. The Pentagon just released this thing.
I saw that too.
Completely another topic.
Yeah.
But I just like the things that are swirling around right now between protests and all of this stuff, but then also quarantining and this pandemic, it leads to a lot of different things. And you were talking about this Mississippi thing.
I was just reading about the Mississippi bubble.
Yeah.
Things fascinate me, so I'm probably nerding out today. But the Mississippi bubble was in 1760. So it was Mississippi Valley, owned by the French. This guy named John Law, he's a Scottish economy guy, was like, hey, we can leverage this, and we can make France a lot of money. So he formed this company that began to sell stocks in the future of the Mississippi Valley. They were going to build all this stuff. So New Orleans comes from that time, right?
Yeah.
It was founded by that. So he starts to sell stock in this company. It starts at 500, I think they're called livres. And then because of the speculation back there, it moved all the way up like overnight to 18,000 livres.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
So it's like, well, I'm going to make all this money. It popped.
Yeah, of course.
And then all it became worthless. So then John Law had this idea, well, we can print more money. So we'll just start, we're the government. He was in with King Louis. We're the government. We'll just print more money.
Yeah.
So they started printing more and more money. Well, that doesn't work.
Nope.
Eventually, you got to pay.
Yep.
So what was fascinating about that, though, that was in 1716. It became an anchor to the kings of France that by the 1770s was drowning them. They were about to go bankrupt, and the majority of the money that they were bringing in was just paying the interest on these loans to all these places. So King Louis XVI is like, well, I got to do something. So he starts raising taxes. There's these famines that come in, and it leads to the French Revolution, and he gets his head cut off.
Oh my.
From seeds planted way back in 1716.
The class divide, the economic divide.
Right? The queen says, when the complaint was, we don't have any bread to eat. Well, let them eat cake. That's how divided they were from the reality of what was happening to the peasant class.
Completely disconnected.
Completely disconnected. But the seeds of that were sown, almost a century before. And then it took a while for them to grow up and to come out. And I'm a big fan of history because of that.
Yeah.
I think that we have sowed seeds. We're sowing seeds right now. And we got to be careful about the seeds that we're sowing right now, because eventually there'll be a crop.
Yep.
And it might not be in my generation. I think it will now, because things are much faster now. The germination is quicker now.
Quicker.
Be careful the seeds that you're sowing. In the French Revolution, like what is a parallel today is this. They didn't know when to stop.
Yeah.
Right? The guillotine was hungry.
Yeah.
So king's head, queen's head, nobles' heads.
Yeah.
Right? The estate, the landowners' heads, the business owners' heads.
Yeah.
It just kept chopping. They didn't know how to stop.
Yeah.
And it's like now people wear these shirts that say protest everything.
Yeah.
I think you don't know when to stop.
Yeah.
Like you don't know when to step back and to say, wait a second, we have it pretty good. STEM, like we have a pretty infant mortality rate, food on the table
Yeah.
every single day. Like we have it really good. We don't know when to like stop and say, we have it really good.
When Ellen and Jimmy Kimmel are getting canceled,
Fully.
where does it end? And then they rip down the elk statue in Portland just to send a message like nothing is safe. Like, you know,
So I have this verse that's been ringing in my head, and it's 1 Chronicles 12. And what 1 Chronicles is, it's David getting these people together, and there's massive numbers. Like Judah sends 50,000 people, and like massive numbers. And then it says, the tribe of Issachar, and I'll read it for you. It says, of Issachar, men who had understanding of the times, to know what Israel ought to do, 200 chiefs. We don't need a lot of people.
yeah,
We just need some men
yeah,
that understand the times
yeah,
and they know what Israel ought to do. So my prayer, since I was been reading that, has been, God, send us men and women who understand the times that we're in, whether it's leaders or church people or local people or counselors that understand the times that we're living in right now, that see history and know that it's like, okay,
yeah,
there are cycles to this, and they know what we ought to do.
mm-hmm.
That's my prayer.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ask for wisdom and he will give it generously.
Totally.
Yeah. So the governor's got a big announcement coming out, I guess, today. A lot of people are wondering.
In about an hour.
Yeah, 12:30, 1:30, something like that. Talking about schools and different counties and stuff. I'm hoping things get decided based on how counties are doing. You know, clearly we're not like perfect, but we're doing better than some other counties. But I was thinking about that and kind of the fear that's going with that. People were texting me last night, what do you think she's going to say? What's going to... I'm like, honestly, you know, at this point, I'm just expecting it to be bad, whatever. Yeah. You know, we're moving forward with stuff. But I was thinking about that. And then also, I don't know if I've ever had more parents call and express concern about their kid going to camp. Is it gonna? Are they gonna be safe?
Yeah.
You know, and they would say to them, but you know, they're shy. I'm not sure what's gonna happen. We'll get to that in just a second. We'll take this call here. Thank you for calling Edge Live. Who's this?
This is Chad.
Chad. I thought you were working.
Hey,
Our long lost comrade.
I had to stop and see if you guys were getting anything done productively.
Well, we're trying to get Myron to replace you, but
Yeah.
he's just making casual appearances.
Awesome. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Please do it. He'd probably say something intelligent.
He made a cameo earlier.
What's going on, Chad?
So on Sunday, Matt, you said, you know, give me Grant's pass. You know, is there a man or woman out there that's praying to give him Grant's pass? Matt, if the answer was yes, what would that look like?
Yeah, I wish I had that answer. Totally.
Great question.
I think it's home bridging is something that is a way to say we're retaking Grants Pass. I think Safe Families is a way of saying we're retaking Grants Pass. I think that just embedding ourselves into the foster care system is a way of saying we're taking Grants Pass. I think with whatever the governor declares at 1:30 today, if wise, smart men of Issachar get together and they say, we're going to make sure that our children are cared for in Grants Pass as a way of taking Grants Pass, that we're not going to allow this narrative to destroy the good that could be sown into kids' lives, and how do we as a church respond to the direction that happens. I think those are momentous opportunities for us.
Yeah, I was just thinking about it on Sunday when you said it. It's so monumental to hear it, and you think, not me. Like probably every man and woman's like, oh, there's no way I could do that. But if everybody looked at it like, give me Grants Pass in my town, my house, my community, my kitchen table, my sphere of influence, like you were saying, then it could happen. So I just want to encourage people not to be overwhelmed with, you're not one, you're a part of this giant family. Like you said, you know, we're citizens of heaven in Grants Pass, and that if we all just did our part, we could have Grants Pass.
Yeah. Amen. Yep.
Awesome. I feel like there's a lot of young people that are leaking hope right now, and I feel like leaders need to step up and help them, you know, with that, not losing hope.
Yeah.
You know, Proverbs 29:18, where those who lose hope cast off restraint, and perish. So I think that's one way I'm looking to help.
Yeah.
And I think many of these young people need to realize that they are leaders and that they can do their part.
Absolutely.
It's just those little things. They've got all the gifts that God gave them to do it for such a time as this.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yep.
All right. God bless you guys.
All right. God bless.
Pour concrete.
Yep. Bye.
Bye. Yes. So anyway, yeah, parents calling in. We were talking about heading off to camp and the governor's announcement. And I do feel like there's this concern, like people are more on alert and trying to be safer in all of that. And you were kind of talking about a quote that you had read earlier too regarding that.
It's the Columbia Board of Education. When they're putting out their directive for this next school year, they said this: one hospitalization is too high a price to pay. One hospitalization, not one death, one person going to the hospital. And I've said this before, and it comes from a book I read, where we worship at the altar of safetyism now.
Mm-hmm.
So it started in the 70s with Ralph Nader and make cars safe. That was a good idea. Then motorcycles safe, and then make kids safe. And we're incredibly safe now as a culture.
Yeah.
So what's left? Well, no one can get sick anymore.
Yeah.
Really? And I told you this. I said, when we were talking about this, I said, there's one thing I would not want to be used to describe my life. Oh, he was safe.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, he was a careful guy.
He was very careful.
I'm like, what kind of a story is that?
Yeah, exactly.
Who gets encouraged by that?
Yeah.
Oh, that was safe.
Yeah.
Oh, that was really safe.
Yeah, good
Man,
job.
no way. So I think it's, are you kidding me? I don't want to be safe, right? And so I don't know. We got all these directives coming from the government, and you have John MacArthur this past weekend just throwing down the gauntlet.
Yeah.
He's a big voice in Christianity.
Yeah.
And he's not that I'm not trying to single out certain denominations, but he's in a denomination that's conservative and safe, and they're not the crazies, right? Not that I'm trying to say anyone's crazy, but there are certain parts of
they're not on the
Christian
fringe.
circles, where you're like, yeah.
Yeah.
He's down the road, and he's like, nope, we're not doing this anymore.
Yep.
Right? This virus is not what you told us it is.
Yep.
We stopped because you said that millions were going to die. That has not happened.
Yeah.
Now we're going back to church.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to process theologically what he's saying, and I'm not sure that the line between people, government and church share people, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is probably J-Mac.
Come back to that. J-Mac. Thank you for calling Edge Live. Who's this?
This is Brittany.
Hi, Brittany.
Hi. Totally not planning on calling it, but I've just been spending a lot of time in prayer just as far as kids go and returning back to school. And I'm just talking with a lot of moms and parents and just seeing kind of different conversations on social media about what it looks like for our kids. I know a lot of people are talking homeschool, and a lot of us are not known how to do that. But anytime anything tries to get brought up on social media, it just causes a lot of divisiveness. It gets really ugly.
Yeah.
So my question is just in my prayer time, I've just been thinking about whether it's a church or somebody's house or whatever, creating a safe place for people to be able to come and talk about it, exchange phone numbers, ideas, just to be able to kind of build a community of. Because I just know me for a mom, it's just not scary because I totally trust in the Lord. But it's just a new venture. I mean, there's a lot of us that don't know what we're doing. So
that's a fascinating idea. You mean like a town hall type of meeting?
Yeah. Because I think
Interesting.
a lot of people are just reaching out to social media, and that's just not where I want to be reaching out to. I want to be reaching out to the Lord and with other people that love the Lord. I even have a lot of non-Christian friends calling me, asking me what we're doing. And so that's just kind of my question. But
That's a fascinating idea. I obviously, I'm sure Matt agrees, face-to-face conversation clearly is the best way to discuss things like that. What does the church have a role in that?
I think so. So
Right.
what we've been waiting for is something concrete. It's like you can't stand on anything right now because there hasn't been
Yeah.
a declaration. So we're hoping
Exactly.
today at 1:30, whether we agree with what is decided or not, at least there's a direction. And then as a church body, we want to then say, all right, I want to, as a church, reach out now and start helping us process through these new rules. So
Right.
Kerry is man, he's been in education, his brother, family. He's a phenomenal resource. We're just waiting for some decision, and then we can move.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's all we're waiting for.
Yeah, I like this
Yeah,
idea. I think it's a discussion to
Yeah.
keep on the table. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's something definitely, I think as a church and as Christians, we've been praying a lot to like be able to take back a lot of things for our kids. And so I just think this is definitely a time to be able to use this as an opportunity to bring church to the schools and bring God to the schools. So
Awesome.
anyways, that was just the question I wanted to know. So
So good.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
yeah, thank you guys so
Yeah,
much.
thanks
Bye.
for calling. Okay, bye. Yeah, the idea of homeschooling. I know there's some that are choosing to pull out and homeschool because of this.
Yeah.
The hybrid schedule, in all honesty, isn't bad for my kids. Like 2 days at school and then the rest,
Yeah.
being at home working
They can
on
just
stuff.
walk.
Yeah, they can walk to school. I really kind of cringe at the thought of pulling them out of the sphere of influence that they have on their school campuses. I would hate to see they've been able to really bridge some connections and gaps and then bring kids to church. And so for us as a family, I don't know, I don't see us ever doing that especially during this season. So, but it sounds like a great discussion. Maybe we could when
Yeah,
we figure
totally.
some stuff out. Ashley Erickson asked, did you already talk about the viral video of doctors going around about the cure for COVID?
Yeah.
At all the social media.
Yeah,
It was
forward.
the top thing viewed yesterday, and then
Now it
Facebook,
disappeared.
YouTube.
That's what's scary to me.
Same here. Like I kind of try to wait on the fringe doctor thing and
Yeah.
kind of see how that plays out, because some of it has been kind of fake. But the thing that is
squashing it.
that's what
That's what
concerns
scares me.
Yeah,
That's a totalitarian regime.
Exactly.
Right? Only let out the narrative that you agree with.
exactly.
Don't allow any counterpoint.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Freedom of speech is the thing that is the thing to me that I'm most concerned.
Most concerned.
Yeah.
Me too. So yes, totally concerning.
Yeah. So.
So
Okay.
when it comes to safetyism, I just say I don't really want to be safe.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying go try to get coronavirus. That's not when I look at my top 10, safe isn't there.
Yeah.
It's live strong, it's live brilliant, it's
Yeah.
live for Jesus, it's go for it. And some trust in chariot and some trust in horses. I trust in the name of Yahweh. That's what I trust in.
Yep.
And I'm going to pray about today what I'm supposed to do.
Yep.
And then trust, okay, is what I'm
Yeah.
supposed to do.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So in closing, the good things happening right now, the people
Yeah.
that are trusting, that are just going for it and living life. I see a lot of people rafting.
Yeah.
I was so happy to see so many kids go to camp, and
Me
we
too.
followed all the rules and said, hey, we'll do everything that's asked of us. We don't want to get any kids sick or whatever. But it was so cool to see so many parents just say, go.
And you
have
guys had a
fun."
blast.
We had a blast. Yeah, we had
it
fun.
looks like one of the top ones that we've done.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
In spite of all the obstacles you guys had to jump over.
Yeah.
Cancel. Look at this one, finally get one.
Yeah.
Like God blessed your efforts.
Totally, yeah. So what are some good things you're seeing happening right
Yeah,
now?
the weather. You know?
Yes.
There's no smoke.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so thankful for no smoke. It's
Yeah.
been brilliant. People trying to sell their homes, really easy market to sell your home right now.
Yeah.
Probably not so easy to buy, but
Yeah.
selling.
Thank you for calling Edge Live. Who's this?
This is Russ.
I'm sorry, who's that?
Russ,
Russ. How are you?
I'm doing well.
What do you got for us today?
Well, my mom said you were going to be talking about MacArthur today. I didn't catch all your stuff on what you were talking about.
Yeah, we just brought up the fact that they decided to just go for it and meet.
Yeah, which was excellent. Should are you guys in the middle of? Are you guys pushing back on the government, on the Oregon government?
We are following all the rules right now.
Yeah. We had a lawsuit about 2 months ago, and then everything that we would have wanted in that lawsuit was granted to us when new rules were put out, so we dropped the lawsuit. A similar lawsuit was taken to the Supreme Court. Perhaps you saw that, and it was
Yeah, I
5 to
think- I
4.
think yeah.
Yeah. So
Sorry.
John Roberts doesn't appear to be who we thought John Roberts was going to be as a Supreme Court judge.
Exactly.
So
So
I-
are you guys going to do anything more as far as like what John has done, or what's your plan?
So I'm trying to process exactly the argument that Grace Church is making. They're making a line between, I don't want to get off on this too much, between government authority does not extend into church. And I'm trying to like parse that, like what does that mean? Because people are both citizens of America and also belong to a church. So there's some things there that I need to reread the elder statement coming out of Grace Community Church again and really try to think it through and pray it through. But it's interesting.
Yeah, they definitely they definitely use the doctrine of the lesser magistrates in their argument. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Yep.
It's in which personally I think that's correct. But if you guys are interested, I can put you in touch with a friend of mine who is like a Jay Sekulow that has won 4 court cases for churches against Illinois, Mississippi, and another state. I can't remember what the other one was. In this process of them shutting down churches.
Is it
And
is it the Alliance Defending Freedom, ADF?
No, this is First Liberty.
Oh, okay.
I don't know
I'll
if you're
check 'em
familiar
out.
with them. Kelly Shackelford is the president of that.
Okay, I'll check them out.
And my friend is one of the attorneys that they just won a Supreme Court case, and not on this issue, but on some other stuff. But if you're interested in that, I could get that information to you.
Yeah, you could email it over to me.
Okay, I think my mom gave me your email address, Matt Edgewater.
Yep.
Okay, and I'll put CC with my friends so that you guys can have connection together. And I'll try to let you know what's going on.
Excellent.
So I wasn't sure what I was calling into. She just asked me to call. So
Thanks
Perfect.
for calling, Russ.
I used to be on staff at Grace and have many friends there, and in fact talked to some this weekend. So kind of
Fascinating.
very familiar with what's going on there. Just encourage you guys to continue Hebrews 10:25 and
Amen.
find a way to encourage the body of Christ. So
Amen.
Matt, I'll get that to you. Thanks so much for taking my call.
Thanks. God bless you, Russ.
Okay.
Okay.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Russ. Myron, come here. We're closing the show. Come tell us the best thing that's going on right now this summer. What's your favorite thing?
You
Come
come
here,
right
come
here.
here, come here, Myron.
Church.
Church is starting.
Yeah.
Come over here so everybody can see how cute
2PK.
you are. Tell them right there. What's the best thing going on right now?
Church is starting.
Church is starting.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right.
Well, we love you guys. Interesting times. Super fun to be a believer during these times, because you get really you're going back to the drawing board on things that are really important. And I've enjoyed it. I mean, not that I would choose this,
Yeah.
but hey, this is the way it is. All right, let's look at this.
Our camp
Yeah.
topic was forged. We talked about tough times and how they
Fully.
shape you. So
Fully.
that's what we've got right
Yeah.
now.
And then you have these churches like John MacArthur's church doing things that you're like, wow, okay, let me think that through.
Yeah.
And it would have never happened in another situation.
Yeah, totally.
All right. God bless you guys.